So today we're going to talk about a very cool subject. We're going to talk about how do you know if a tech job is for you. So in order to get to that answer, we're going to ask a bunch of different questions. And those questions are going to lead us to a conclusion there. So before we begin, I want to introduce myself. So hi everyone, I am Mafe. I am a senior designer here at Avo Academy, and I love designing. I've been a designer for, it's going to be 12 years. I've been designing for 12 years, and I've been a UX UI designer for the past 5 years. I could say give or take 5 years. So I really love design. And I am from Colombia, South America. Actually, Mafe is short for my full name, which is Maria Fernanda. And throughout all these years, I've had the pleasure and the privilege of working with different companies and teams to create really amazing products. And the other thing that I really love is sharing a lot about this passion that I have for UX and UI with all of you, which is why we are here. So today we're not going to talk about specifically about UX UI. We're going to talk about jobs in technology, and we're going to touch a little bit on UX UI as well, but it's not going to be a deep dive into UX UI. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so when we are considering a career change, there are many important questions that we can ask ourselves. So today, I made a list of a few questions that we can ask ourselves, and they are the following. So one, is it worth changing to a career in tech? The second question is, will a tech job offer me what I need? The third question is, what can I do in the tech industry? The fourth question is, will I be good at a tech job? The fifth question is, will I like working on tech? And to close this exercise of asking questions to come up to a conclusion, we have, what skills do I need to have? So let's tackle the first question. The first question is it worth changing into a tech career? So before answering that question, let's talk about the tech industry. So the tech industry has been growing. Ever since internet, this industry has been booming. It's been growing. Every year we see a bigger, more interesting technological improvement and technology appearing. So right now, the tech industry is projected to grow more than many other industries. And why it's important to know if the tech industry is growing? Why is this relevant at all? It is important because if you're considering changing to a tech career, consider changing to a industry that can offer you a ton of opportunity to continue growing, and an industry that it's stable, that you can see that it's steady and growing powerfully. So this is also important because this implies that many more jobs are created per year around this industry that keeps growing. So despite what you hear, and right now there is a lot of buzz in the media about tech layoffs. Actually, layoffs are occurring across all the industries in the world. So if you can see, there are many companies that are doing layoff. It's not just the tech industry situation. It's basically a global crisis because of COVID and because of the different wars that are happening at this moment. So despite the belief that there are a lot of tech layoffs, there are also more hires than layoffs. And which take us to the first point, which is that for the tech industry, it's projected that there are going to be 177K new tech jobs per year on average. So there are a lot of positions that are being opened. So there are job openings in this industry. The other reason why understanding the growth of the tech industry, it's because since it's growing, it needs to attract talent. And since it's growing, it has a ton of money. So if you take a look at the tech industry, you will see that the median annual wage is higher than other industries. And the exact number, it's around 117% higher. So if you're aiming to earn more, the tech industry could be worth it. So to the question, is it worth it changing to a tech career? And the answer to this question is, if you're looking for a career that gives you growth, that pays well, that it's stable, that it's growing, and not just as in you can grow as a professional, but there are a diversity of things you can do, then the answer to this question could be yes. The second question, will a tech job offer me what I need? So obviously, what you need is very particular to you, right? So when I was thinking about transitioning from a graphic designer to tech to UX UI, there were some things that I was considering, some needs that I have, and I made a research, and across the board, these are some factors that could help you see if a tech job will offer you something that you need. So here are 6 common needs or things that the tech industry can offer to you. So the first one, it's a good pay. So we were mentioning that earlier, tech industry is growing. There is a lot of money here and need for talent. So the salaries range between 50K going as high and exceeding 150K. So if you have heard, the AI engineers can make almost $1 million a year, because they are very coveted right now. So if you're looking for a good pay and you want to invest in a career that can take you to that next economical level, a tech job offers you that, a great pay. A tech job also offers you decent hours. When I was working as a graphic designer, I was working in agencies, and we work 10, 12, 14 hours, and many times we had to work the weekends. So it was very exhausting. Working in tech, on average, we work 8 to 9 hours. Obviously, if we have a deadline or we really have to move something forward, you can work a little bit more. But what's beautiful here is that that is the exception and not the rule. So if you manage your time properly, you shouldn't be working more than those hours. As I mentioned, there are exceptions, but typically you shouldn't. And the other thing that it's really cool and really important is that you have a ton of flexibility with your schedule. I would say, and this is totally a personal point of view, that in tech we have, or like the commonality is trust. So I trust you. I trust that you are going to, so I'm going to give you something to do, and I trust you to do that within the time it's required. If you decide to do the whole thing in one sitting, perfect. If you decide to break that into smaller batches, perfect. It's up to you. But you have a lot of autonomy and control over your schedule. So that is very, for me, that's very, very cool. And so if you're a person who's needing that kind of freedom, then a tech job can offer you exactly that. The third point, it's generous benefits. So there are some industries that offer you limited benefits, but here in tech, you are going to see very generous benefits that vary or that go from health insurance, paid time off, and paid time off, it's usually very generous. You have employee stock options. This depends on each company, but across the board, if you go to LinkedIn and you search for any job in technology, you're going to see that they offer really cool benefits. So if this is something that matters to you, like if you really want to take that time off, or health insurance, it's very important and you need it, then a tech job can offer you that. The other thing is, if you're a person that needs to work in something with meaning, a tech job can be for you. Because here, working in tech, we're also shaping the future. So the past week has been crazy with the launch and the release to market of Apple's VR system. So you can see, and there were so many people involved in that creation, so many roles and positions, and Apple is not the only one creating VR systems. There are so many other companies, but you can see how this is going to probably change the way we do a lot of things. And this has been the commonality, the rule since, I don't know, I think since the iPhone is when we've seen how technology is gaining speed, and it's been going like crazy. So if you want to help shape the future, be part of those people who, for example, create those robots that clean your house, and you create the application that can help the user admin that robot, you are being part, and you're shaping the future for everyone. The other thing is work from home. So if you're a person who needs to work from home, if you for example, live far away from your office, tech usually offers remote or hybrid options. So this is also a very cool feature in tech, that there's, as I mentioned, a lot of trust. So we trust you to do something, and you can do it from wherever you want, and within the timeline, you can admin your time as you see fit. And finally, if you are a person who needs variety, right? So if you like to not be doing something repetitive over and over and over, then this industry can be for you, because it is not just working in, for example, cloud computing. No, like the other day I saw that Colgate released a smart toothbrush. So it comes with an application, and there's a lot of technology involved in an industry that it's like health and mouthwash. So it's a very diverse and dynamic industry. It's changing, it's evolving, and you can work in many, many fields. So let's go to the next question. What can I do in the tech industry? So cool thing to know is that each day there are more and new tech-related jobs and positions. There are more than 80 roles, and I made a list of the most popular. So, of course, we have UX UI designer. So what do? We are the ones who design applications and websites. So every time you go to a website or open your phone and see an application, it's very likely that a UX UI designer had to do with that product. And we focus in how the users are interacting with that and how it looks. So a practical example, it's a DNB website. You can see that it's not exactly the most pleasing experience to be in that website. Like, you go because you have to. But if I give you the option to go to the DNB website or Airbnb, probably you're gonna prefer going to Airbnb because it has a better user interaction and a better look. So that is what we do as UX UI designers. The other role is UX UI researchers. So in order to understand the user, the UX UI researchers, they analyze the user interactions, their needs, their pain points, and they conduct interviews, they conduct usability testing, they see user recordings, they talk to users, they conduct surveys. So they gather information in many, many ways. And they collect all this information and they present findings and present recommendations to inform the UX UI designers so we can bring all those insights and incorporate them into our designs. Then we have the software engineers. So the software engineers design and build applications and websites. So they are like, imagine someone building a bridge. So they are the ones that are building, but a technology web. So they have to think about, do I have enough resources to be able to handle the demand? So servers and cloud computing, and so they are in charge of making sure that the code is working well, that you can optimize that code. So they are like more into building that structure and making sure it's a good and stable structure. And we have web developers, and those two are very close to each other. So the web developers are the ones who create and maintain websites. So they are the ones that you normally think with code and are learning HTML, CSS, and Java, and all these other languages. And what they do, their main job is to translate design into code. We have another important one. We have AI engineers. So they are in high demand right now, and they develop and implement AI algorithms and systems for applications. So they are the ones who are thinking and creating these algorithms that make machines behave more like humans and make decisions and stuff like that. We have another important one, cybersecurity analyst. So this is very important. They protect computer systems and networks from security breaches. So something as simple as your phone has a ton of cybersecurity. Your email has a ton of cybersecurity as well, because privacy is something that it's very vulnerable right now, and therefore it needs a lot of people working in making sure that you feel safe using technology. We have another very, very important one, and it's data scientists. So they analyze and interpret complex data and set to extract value insights. So everything you do when you touch a computer or a phone becomes data. Everything you do, it's data. How many times you go to a website, which website, how much time you spent on that website, what did you do on that website? Everything, it's data. So a simple thing as you telling your or having your phone close by and saying, oh, I think I'm craving Chinese food today, and miraculously in your Instagram feed you start seeing a ton of Chinese restaurant ads. That is data scientists extracting data, distilling the data, and providing it to the business part, designers, engineers, so we can use the data to provide a better experience for users. So they are a cornerstone to technology right now. And we have another very important one, project managers. Think of project managers as an orchestra conductor. They help plan, execute, and oversee technology projects. So they are the ones making timelines and making sure that we have specific goals. They see the whole picture, like of this project within the business. So they are a very important component. Typically, you will see in many companies team pods of UX designers, web developers, and project managers, because together they work very in an agile manner to create features and products. So it's a very powerful combination. The other question that I think it's very, very important, and it's, will I be good at a tech job? So we don't know each other yet. And I could say, without knowing much about you, that yes, You can be good at a tech job for a very simple reason, and it's because practice makes perfect. More than thinking, are you going to be good, is thinking about if your skills and what you like, it's aligned to the tech job. Because if you don't know how to do something yet, with practice, you're going to become a master. And this is where I love to share the example of this amazing artist. Her name is Sarah Shakil. And just so you know, she's a dentist. But she has this artistic side of her, and she started her Instagram account a few years ago. And she started making collages and montages of different things, and you can see how as her work progressed she started falling in love with diamonds, with that like shiny texture, and with like galaxies and sparkles and stuff like that. So she began incorporating those elements into into her work. And the first here you can see that her first work was quite it was very basic, if you will. It was very you could tell that she was starting, right? So it was you don't see a lot of depth, you don't see a lot of shadows. But fast forward a few years, and I think about 7 years later, she's creating amazing work. And you can see how she incorporates both like the diamonds and the glitter and the shiny sparkles and everything. And she uses shadows and she creates a lot of depth, and it looks very realistic. So with time and practice, she became really good. And then fast forward a few months later and incorporate AI, and look what she's doing. It's amazing. And I encourage you to go to her Instagram account and see her amazing world, because she lives like in a different galaxy. She's amazing. And she's able to do all this because of the time she's been putting into crafting and perfecting her work, and now with the use of technology. So, related to before, more than are you going to be good at it, the question you should be asking here is, will you like it? So, it obviously depends. It depends on what kind of things do you like to do on on a regular basis. So, if you're a kind of person who likes to create structures and building things, consider that maybe a web developer career can be for you, software engineer, AI engineer, cloud architect. So those people are the ones in charge of building a lot of structures, and they are digital structures and technological structures, but you can channel this passion you have there. But if, on the contrary, like me, you're more on the creative side, you're curious, you like to learn constantly, there are other things you could do. You could become a UX UI designer, but you could also become a product manager, a video game designer, a brand manager. So there are many things to do. So what you should really ask yourself is, what kind of things do you like to do on a regular basis? Because if you are going to spend the 10,000 hours you're supposed to become an expert in a matter, make sure it's something you're passionate about. Otherwise, it's going to become very hard, and the chances are that you're going to drop it in the middle of the way. So make sure that whatever you do, it's aligned with something that you really like. And the other thing that has to be aligned with is the skills. So obviously there are specific set skills for every career and job in tech. And today we're just going to run a quick exercise of skills you need to have for UX UI. Obviously I'm a UX UI designer, and I created this quiz to help you see if you have skills that align with this career path. So I'm going to give you 4 options, and the idea is for you to select all the ones that apply to you. The first one is you figure out problems, find good answers, and use your creativity to make things work well and just the way you want them. So if that is you, give this a check mark. Remember, you're supposed to check as many as you want, as many as align to you. The second one, You're really good at looking very closely and checking information carefully to make sure everything is just right for your work. So, are you detailed oriented? If this is something that resonates, check mark. The third one, you really like learning new things and getting good at them. It makes you happy to discover and do more cool stuff. So if you feel, yes, I see myself here, check it out. And finally, you really understand how others feel and how they see the world, and you care a lot about their feelings. It's easy for you to connect with people. So if you're very empathetic, check mark. And let's run a visual exercise. Among these three options, choose the best design. So I'm going to give you a moment so you can take a closer look into each one of them and think which one is the best design. Before I do the great reveal and show you what are the answers to this quiz, if you could take a moment and fill out the survey that you can scan with this QR code. And if you are later watching this video in YouTube, you will find the link in the description. We value your thoughts a lot, and we would love to know and learn if you like this type of content and what other kind of topics you would like us to talk about. If you take this survey, you can access a very special discount of $250 of our foundations course. So please it's not going to take more than a minute to fill out that survey and help us improve so we can create more things that you like. So the great reveal. So how many options were you able to select from the first part of the quiz? If you had only one check mark, you have a low UX UI match. And maybe other careers like web development are more aligned to your skills. If you have two, you're a medium match. There is potential here, and we encourage you to keep learning about UX UI and stay curious and have an open mind to see maybe other careers, or if there's other skills, because obviously there are so many skills that you could have as a UX designer. This is a portion of fraction. So keep curious, keep researching. The third one, if you had three check marks, you are a high UX UI match. You could be looking at your future career. So are you a good listener too? Do you like solving problems? If your answer is yes, this could be potentially your next career. And if you selected 4, you are a perfect match, absolutely born to be a UX UI designer. And it's time to absolutely celebrate because you found your calling. And finally, the correct design was B. The correct, this one, the better design, it's number B. Number B. So in conclusion, how do you know if a tech job is for you? So this is a quick checklist to help you analyze if a tech job is indeed for you. Do you want to work in a growing industry? If you say yes, this could be your potential match. Do you want help to shape the future? You are looking to earn a decent paycheck. You want to learn something new. You are committed to improving your skills. This is important. One of the jobs interests you. So remember, you really have to like this. If you don't feel a connection with this probably it's not a good match. But if you feel like there's one job that rings your bell, and there are many more that I encourage you to research, this could be the sign you've been waiting. At least 2 skills are aligned with your job description. So you can go and see the list of positions, jobs you can do in tech, and you can go to LinkedIn. and you can search for job openings for that specific position, and make a list of the skills they are saying they need, and see if at least two of your skills are aligned with that job description. If they are, there is a great potential there. And as I mentioned, and I will mention over and over, that you like the field. It is very important, because making a career change, you can do many career changes in your life, but it's a big decision. So at least make sure that you're doing something that you feel passionate about, that you like, because you're going to spend most of your life working on this. So make sure you like the field. So this is it. Thank you so much for joining me today in this beautiful afternoon/night, wherever, or day, wherever in the world you are. I hope that this video was very helpful in trying to solve this big question, is if a tech job is for you. If you would like to receive a more personalized guidance, I invite you to scan that code. And if you are watching this in YouTube, follow the link in the description. So you can schedule a call with one of our career advisors that can listen to your specific needs and wants, and can help you in this process. So once again, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week, amazing rest of the day and weekend. And I sure hope to see you in the next opportunity.